Morning and welcome to Rosh Hashana, Daf Ches, Daf 8, number 8. We'll begin from the top here. Two lines, two dots, I'm sorry, 5 lines down. They say that the Meiser Behema, the new month, is the first of Tishrei. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, as opposed to Rabbi Meir, who holds it's the first of El. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Meir and Rabbi Shimon, they darshan the same pasuk. Shnemar livshu karim hason v'amakim yatvu bar yitro af yashiru. Literally, this pasuk means that the sheep lavshu karim, that they became, what does the article say exactly here? They became clad, which we'll see what that means. Become clad, reference to becoming pregnant. V'amakim yatvu bar. The hills will become full with fodder, with animal food. Yiro af yashiru. Something will sing and cry out. What is that referring to? It's referring to the grains. When they're fully ripened, they make noise in the wind. When do they become pregnant? Next words in the pasuk. When there's fodder for the animals to eat in the hills. When do the valleys become full of fodder, of grains for the animals to eat? Ba'adar. In Adar, Mizabros Ba'adar. So the pasuk is telling you they become pregnant in Adar. V'yoldos Ba'av, and they give birth on Av. Av is 5 months later. The gestation period for a small animal is 5 months. They give birth in Av. Rosh Hashanah Elul. So therefore, it makes sense that the Rosh Hashanah are calculating which year's flock the Meiser Behema goes from is based on Elul, which is the next month, the next Rosh Chodesh. When do the sheep become clad, become pregnant? He darshans it on the end of the pasuk, at the time when the grains make noise in the field. When do they make shira? B'Nisan. In Nisan, Misabras b'Nisan, they become pregnant in Nisan. 5 months later, they give birth in Elul. Rosh Hashanah and Tishrei. Therefore, the next month, the upcoming month is Tishrei, when all of them finish to give birth in Elul. End of Elul, they finish to give birth. So therefore, right away, the Rosh Hashanah is Rosh Chodesh Tishrei. V'idach nami, aksiv yisro af yashir. What does Rabbi Meir do at the end of the pasuk? Ahu ba'afalta dahavim b'Nisan. He says that's talking about not a majority of the animals, but the animals which are late, which become pregnant in Nisan, beginning of Nisan. V'idach nami aksiv Elazar Shimon also says v'amakim yatvu bar. It seems they become pregnant when there is starting to have food in the field, not when it's completely ripened. That's talking about the meat of animals that actually are early and they become pregnant in other. According to the Mir, the pasuk makes more sense because it says they become clad, they become clothed, they become pregnant, and the next part of the pasuk is talking about when the valleys start becoming full with grain. And the end of the pasuk says, and some of them also, a miyut, or some of them actually wait till Nisan. Elder Bezer, Rabbi Shimon, Ibchami Vayale, Lav Shekar Masal, Mizman Sheisro Af Yashiru, V'ikanami Damakim Yatfu Bar. It makes sense that it should say, it talks about when most of the animals become pregnant, and it should say Yitzro Af Yashiru first, and then say the miyut second. Why doesn't it do that? Really, Rabbi would have to agree that most animals become pregnant in Adar. The machlokes is centered around another pasuk. Aser to aser. It says, repeats the word, taking off meiser. The pasuk is talking about two meishos, comparing two meishos together. Echad meiser behema, echad meiser dagan. Remeir sort of makish meiser behema, meiser dagan. There's a comparison between the two. Ma meiser dagan samach like maro isuro. Just like meiser dagan, right? It grows the whole winter. It becomes ripened in Nisan, and then it dries out the whole summer, and you collect it from the field in Elul, and then it's finished. Its finishing processes happen at the end of Elul. Av Meiser Behema Samach Ligmaro Isuro. So too, Meiser Behema also, uh, right when it becomes the birth is in Av, so therefore Rosh Chodesh Elul is the Rosh Hashanah Meiser Behema. So it's like Meiser Dagon, Samach Ligmaro Isuro. There, Samach Ligmaro Isuro Meiser Dagon is the end of Elul, and it's Rosh Chodesh is Tishrei, but it compares the two in terms of right when it's finished, then you already make the Rosh Hashanah for that. Rosh Hashanah Sabri Makish Meiser Behema Meiser Dagon. Ma'amais Dagan Rosh Hashanah is Shelo Tishrei. Like we said before, it's finished in Elul. The Rosh Hashanah is Tishrei. Ma'amais Behema, the direct connection Rosh Hashanah is Shelo Tishrei. It's Tishrei, not Elul. Ve'echa v'Tishrei Rosh Hashanah l'shanim. Mishnah says on Daf Beis, first of Tishrei is Rosh Hashanah for years. What does that mean? My help. Amar of Papa l'shtaros. It's talking about for shtar. Nisnan shtarei chov mukdamim psulan mocharin ksherin. If a shtar chov is written early, it's written let's say a year early. It's important to know which year, when the year starts, because if it's written from a previous year, you can't collect that shtar. It's a pasul shtar, because people who we sold the land to earlier before the loan, it's going to end up that the person who gave the loan is going to be able to collect from the borrower the borrower's sale of his property to another person, get those lands or get those houses illegally, because he can only be collect from the time of the loan, not from the time where the shtar said, which is mukdam. Now mukar and ksherin, if it's a late shtar, it's a year later, it's kosher b'di'evan. So it's important to know the year. Gemara asked, Mishnah says, first of Nisan, the Rosh Hashanah for the kings, for the reign of kings, to write in the shtar. Amrina l'mayhilchas. The shtar is to write in the shtar what year the reign of the king is. And presumably, the Gemara explained the reason for that is, again, for the halacha of shtaros and mucharin, aksher, mukdam and psul. It's the same halacha. So the Gemara says, Lo kasha, kan l'malchi Yisrael, kan l'malchi umos ha'olam. Rosh Hashanah, Echa b'Nisan, that's talking about Malchi Yisrael. Echa b'Tishrei, l'shanim, that's talking about Malchi umos ha'olam, like we said before in Daf Hey or Daf Daled, that by Malchi umos ha'olam, you go from Tishrei. Their year begins in Tishrei. The Gemara says, Elahad amar Rav Chisda, l'shana l'malchi Yisrael, Malchi umos ha'olam, Tishrei maninan. Rav Chisda said clearly, he said this chiluk already. He said it on Daf Gimel. He said this chiluk already, Rav Chisda. So he's just telling us what the Mishnah. He's explaining the Mishnah. Lo, Rav Chisda cry asa lashmoina. The Maria says Rav Chisda really is not explaining the Mishnah. He actually brings a support from a pasuk that you go for umas ha'olam, you go from Tishrei. That's what he adds. He's not being machadesh anything. The Mishnah is really was machadesh, the chiluk between Malchi umas ha'olam, Malchi Yisrael. He's just adding a pasuk to support that. He learns the Mishnah like Reb Zeir. The Reb Zeir Amar L'Tkufa. He says the Rosh Hashanah Echad b'Tishrei, Rosh Hashanah L'Shanim, is talking about the seasons, not talking about for counting shtaros. In terms of the seasons, when did the seasons start? Or Reb Lezer he the Amar b'Tishrei Nevra Olam. He holds like Lezer that the world was created in Tishrei. So therefore, we know the seasons of the year, in terms of figuring out the lunar calendar and the solar calendar, start from Tishrei. Rav Nachum Yitzchak Amar Ledin, another shot in Rosh Hashanah L'Shanim, is that's the time of the when the world is judged. Rosh Hashanah is the day of judgment. The Chsiv Rosh Hashanah v'ad Achar Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah Nidon Ma Yeh B'Sov. The Gemara Darshans, the pasuk means from the beginning of the year, Hashem had judges whatever will be for the whole entirety of the year, even until the end. The Gemara says, "How do you know this pasuk from Rosh Hashanah is talking about Tishrei?" Because it says, "Tiku b'chodesh shofar v'kesel yom chagenu." It's talking about blowing the shofar. You should blow the shofar when the moon is covered during the Chag. Ezu Chag shechodesh miskasabo. Which holiday in the Jewish calendar is the moon covered? It's a new moon, and the moon is covered from eyesight. Heavy Omer Zer Rosh Hashanah. That must be Rosh Hashanah. And then the next pasuk says that it's a statute for Klal Yisrael. It's din, it's judgment for Yaakov. So you see, Then Rosh Hashanah, Hashem judges the world. Tana Rabbanan, Kichoku li Yisrael Mishpah Yaakov, a different drush of this pasuk. Malamed she'ein beisin shalmala nechas ladin elakim kidshu beisin shalmata es hachodesh. Where darshans Kichok li Yisrael, when is statue of Klal Yisrael, when beisin shalmata is makadosh the chodesh, then it's Mishpah Yaakov, then Hashem judges the world. So if they wait a day, the Makadesh Rosh Hashanah, Hashem doesn't judge the world until actually Beisin Shalmata makes it Aleph Tishrei. Tanya Idach, another Bryce. Like Chol Yisrael, who ainly Ella Yisrael. We only know the day of judgment for Klal Yisrael. Umos Olam Minayin. How do you know it's the day of judgment for all of the nations of the world? Talmud Mishpah Yaakov. It's a double lashon. One's for Klal Yisrael, one's for the rest of the nations. Im Kemata Malomar Kichol Yisrael. Why does it say Chol Yisrael? If it includes the whole world, just say one pasuk. Well, no, it's talking about the whole world. No, it's to tell you that Chol Yisrael comes first, that Klal Yisrael is judged first. And then the rest of the world is judged on Rosh Hashanah. Shenemar Mishpat Avdo Mishpat Amo. It says by Shlomo Melech, he says the servant, he's referring to himself as a servant, his judgment, and then the judgment of the rest of the people, my time. Why, sorry, I skipped a line. The Rav Chisda, the Amar Rav Chisda, Melech Vasibor, Melech Nechas Tila Ladin. When you have judgment, Hashem has to judge a king and judge the rest of the nation. He judges the king first. Shenemar Mishpat Avdo Mishpat Amo. First Shlomo Melech, and then the rest of the nation. My time. Why does Hashem judge the king first? It's not derech eretz to keep a king standing outside when everyone else is judged first. We do a favor to the king that he doesn't wait till he be judged second, because once Hashem gets the habit of judging, his anger will flare up and it'll be more severe for the king. So we let less severe din go for the king. L'shmitin. The Mishnah says that Rosh Hashanah Aleph Tishrei is Rosh Hashanah L'Shmitin Minolan. How do you know that? T'chsev L'Shana Shvius Shabbat Shabbason Yela Aretz. It's talking about Shemitah. The 7th year is Shemitah Aretz. V'gamar Shana Mi Tishrei. We learn Gzera Shava. It says Shana, the word Shana from Tishrei. T'chsev Reish Hashanah. That pasuk we proved before is talking about Rosh Hashanah Aleph Tishrei. So therefore it says Shana there. So Shana Shvi is also talking about Aleph Tishrei. V'gamar Shana Shama Nisan. Why do we learn Gzera Shava from Nisan? It says the word Shana there. We know that from before. That's talking about Aleph Nisan. Dan and Shana Sheni Ma Chadashim, Mishana Sheni Ma Chadashim. And Dan and Shana Sheni Ma Chadashim, Mishana Sheyesh Ima Chadashim. We'd rather judge a pasuk, rather make a Gzera Shava that's more closely related. So therefore, the pasuk of Rishon Hel Nuchal Shana includes the word Chodesh. Reish Hashanah doesn't include the word Chodesh. Shana Shvius, Shabbat Shabbason, and Yel Haaretz doesn't mention Chodesh also. So therefore, we'll compare. We'll do the Gzera Shava from Shemitah to Aleph Tishrei to Rosh Hashanah, our common colloquial Rosh Hashanah, and not to Aleph Nisan. Uli Yovlos. It's Rosh Hashanah for Yovel also. Yovlos be'echa b'Tishrei. Is Yovel really the Rosh Hashanah is Aleph Tishrei, like it says in the Mishnah? Yovel is b'yud b'Tishrei hu. The chsiv Yom Kippurim taviru shofar. I was talking about the 10th of Nisan, 10th of Tishrei on a Yovel year. And you blow the shofar, and then the slaves go free, and the ancestral lands go back to their rightful owners. So my answer is no. Hamani, our Mishnah is Rabbi Shalom ben Oshar Yochanan and Brocha. He desanya v'kidashim eshas chamishim shana. Also says by Yovel, you're Makadesh the 50th year. What's the point of this pasuk? Yom Kippurim. It said by Yom Kippurim you're going to blow the shofar. You might think because you blow the shofar on Yom Kippur, so it only starts the Yovel on Yom Kippur. To teach you that really the kedusha of Yovel starts already on Rosh Hashanah. They wouldn't be sent home. But they wouldn't be avodim to their masters. They eat, they drink, and they're happy. And they wear their crowns. The Mir says their turbans. They wear the turbans on their head. Once Yom Kippurim arrives, then it's the completion of this process. Once the shofar is blown on Yom Kippur, then the avodim go back to their houses, and the fields go back to ancestral fields go back to their original owners. Rabbanon, what do they do this pasuk? They learn that the kedusha of Yovel starts on Yom Kippur. They learn Shanim Atam Mekadesh, V'Atam Mekadesh Chadashim. Your Mekadesh Yovel, you have to actually Basin. It's on chart in the dominion of Basin. That Basin has to uh, be Makadesh. But Rosh Chodesh could become Rosh Chodesh even if Basin is not Makadesh the Chodesh. As long as the new moon appeared, that makes it Rosh Chodesh. It's a machlokes later on in the Masechta whether Basin actually has to Makadesh it, the Poyel, actively or not. Rabbanan assume we don't actually have to do a Rosh Chodesh that way. Tanya Ida, a different price. Yovelhi, Matam Alomar. What's the point of this passage? We should never Kidashim Shas Chamishim. Says Yishim Makadesh the 50th year. Yachol Kashem Shemiskadesh Zolachas Mitkilasa. Just like it starts on Rosh Hashana, on Aleph Tishrei, it's Mikudeshes. Kach Miskadesh Zolachas Asofa. So too, it could also be Kodesh at the end, meaning the Gemara is suggesting that maybe then the following year, the 51st year, from Rosh Hashanah, Aleph Tishrei to Aleph to Yud Tishrei, there should be Tosefes Kedushas Yovel. Al Titma, don't be surprised that we would think this way. Sharam Musif and Michal al Kodesh. We know there's a cloud that you add from Chol al Kodesh by Shabbos, by other halacha, Yom Tov. So on Yuma, Mesachas Yuma, you say that Talmud Lomer Yovel Hi Shnas HaChamishim. Shnas HaChamishim v'Tamakadesh, v'Tamakadesh Shnas HaChamishim v'Achas. You only Makadesh the 50th year, not the 51st year. Okay, we're going to stop here. Conclude today's shir. 16 minutes. It's pretty good. Getting better and better every day. Have a good day. Bye.